Now lay down and relax. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, hold it, and slowing breathe out. You've arrived. Not at an ending, but at a new beginning. You've journeyed through 100 truths, and they've woven themselves into the fabric of who you are. Some landed softly. Others struck like lightning. All of them have served their purpose, to remind you of the magnificent being you've always been and the limitless potential that lives within you. Take a deep breath. This final segment is about integration, bringing everything together, sealing these truths into your consciousness, and preparing you to step back into your life as the transformed person you've become. First affirmation: your life is your masterpiece. You recognize that your life is your masterpiece, and you're the artist. Every choice is a brushstroke. Every day is a blank canvas. You're not waiting for someone else to create the life you want. You're actively, intentionally, creatively designing it. And like any great work of art, it's never truly finished. It's always evolving, always becoming. You approach your life with the care and attention an artist brings to their greatest work. With patience when things take time. With courage when taking risks. With vision that sees beyond what currently exists to what could be. You are both the creator and the creation, constantly shaping and being shaped. Second affirmation: the power of now. You've learned that the present moment is where all your power lives. Not in the past, which you cannot change. Not in the future, which hasn't arrived. But here, now, in this breath, in this choice, in this action. Every transformation happens in the now. Every decision that changes your trajectory happens in the now. And you've learned to be fully here. When you're present, you're powerful. When you're here, you're effective. When you're now, you're alive. This moment is all you have, and you've learned to make it count, not by doing more, but by being more fully engaged with what you're doing. Third affirmation: your permission to evolve. You've given yourself permission to evolve continuously. You're not locked into who you were yesterday or last year. You're not bound by what you once believed or what you once wanted. You're allowed to change your mind, to grow out of old identities, to become someone different and better. Evolution isn't betrayal, it's fulfillment. The you from 5 years ago would be amazed by who you are now. And the you 5 years from now will look back at this moment with the same wonder. You're always becoming, and you've stopped apologizing for it. Fourth affirmation: the compound effect of small actions. You trust the compound effect of small, consistent actions. You don't need to make massive changes all at once. You don't need to revolutionize your entire life tomorrow. You just need to be 1% better today than you were yesterday. Those small improvements, repeated daily, create exponential growth over time. A book read 1 page at a time. A business built 1 customer at a time. A skill mastered 1 practice session at a time. You've stopped looking for shortcuts and started trusting the process. You know that consistency beats intensity every time. Fifth affirmation: your capacity for love. You've expanded your capacity for love, for others, for your work, and most importantly, for yourself. You've learned that self-love isn't selfish, it's the foundation for everything else. When you love yourself, you make better choices. You attract healthier relationships. You create from abundance rather than neediness. This love isn't conditional. It doesn't depend on your achievements or your appearance or others' approval. It's unconditional acceptance of who you are right now, combined with excitement for who you're becoming. This love is your superpower. Sixth affirmation: the wisdom of celebration. You celebrate your journey, not just your destination. Every step forward deserves acknowledgement. Every lesson learned is worth honoring. Every challenge overcome is reason to celebrate. You've stopped postponing joy until you arrive, and started finding it in the process of becoming. Life isn't happening after you achieve your goals. It's happening now, in the pursuit of them. The joy isn't waiting at the finish line. It's woven into every step of the race. You've learned to savor the journey, to find meaning in the struggle, to appreciate where you are while reaching for more. 7th affirmation, your legacy begins today. You understand that your legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you're creating right now. Every interaction, every decision, every moment of integrity or kindness or courage, this is your legacy in action. You're not waiting until later in life to think about impact. You're making impact today. The lives you touch, the problems you solve, the love you share, the example you set, the beauty you create, the truth you speak. This is your legacy unfolding in real time. And you're being intentional about making it something you're proud of. 8th affirmation, the freedom of letting go. You've learned the freedom that comes from letting go. Letting go of what others think. Letting go of who you thought you should be. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. Letting go of grudges, resentments, and regrets. Every release creates space for something better to enter. Letting go isn't giving up, it's making room. It's trusting that what's meant for you won't pass you by, and what passes you by wasn't meant for you. This trust, this release, this surrender, it's brought you more peace than grasping ever could. 9th affirmation, your commitment to this path. You commit here and now to continuing this journey of growth. This isn't a one-time experience. This is a lifestyle, a practice, a commitment to showing up for yourself day after day, year after year. To keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding. To never stop becoming more of who you truly are. This commitment isn't a burden, it's a privilege. You get to keep evolving. You get to keep discovering new levels of yourself. You get to keep creating, contributing, and becoming. And you're saying yes to all of it. 10th affirmation, you are ready. You are ready. Ready for the next level. Ready for bigger challenges. Ready for greater success. The expansion continues. Just when you thought the journey was complete, you realize there's always another level. Always deeper wisdom to uncover. Always more of yourself to discover and express. This isn't about never being satisfied. It's about embracing the infinite nature of your potential. There's no ceiling. There's no final destination. There's only continuous expansion. And so you continue, not because you're incomplete, but because growth is your natural state. Evolution is who you are. And these next truths will take you even further into the extraordinary life you're creating. First affirmation, your relationship with failure is your advantage. You've completely reframed failure as your competitive advantage. While others avoid failure at all costs, you embrace it as feedback. You fail faster, learn quicker, and iterate better than those who play it safe. Every failure is data. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You've learned to extract wisdom from what doesn't work and apply it to what will. This relationship with failure makes you fearless. Not because you don't fear, but because fear of failure no longer stops you. You've failed before and survived, thrived even. You'll fail again and be better for it. This is your edge. Second affirmation, the power of your morning routine. You've crafted a morning routine that sets the tone for extraordinary days. Before you check your phone, before you respond to the world's demands, you invest in yourself. Whether it's meditation, exercise, journaling, reading, or visualization, You've claimed the first hour of your day as sacred time for your own growth and alignment. This isn't about perfection or rigid schedules. It's about prioritizing yourself first so you can show up fully for everything else. Your morning routine is your competitive advantage. It's where you win the day before it even begins. Third affirmation. Your intuition is your internal GPS. You've learned to trust your intuition as your internal GPS. That gut feeling, that inner knowing, that quiet voice, it's never wrong. You've stopped overriding it with logic that doesn't serve you or other people's opinions that don't align. Your intuition has access to information your conscious mind doesn't, and you've learned to honor it. When something feels off, you pause. When something feels right, you move forward, even if you can't explain why. This trust in your intuition has led you to opportunities you would have missed and protected you from situations that would have harmed you. Fourth affirmation, the practice of radical responsibility. You take radical responsibility for everything in your life. Not blame, but ownership. You don't point fingers or make excuses. If something isn't working, you ask, what's my role in this? What can I control? What can I change? This level of ownership is empowering because it means you always have agency, always have options, always have the ability to create change. This doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means you're committed to being the source of solutions rather than a victim of circumstances. This mindset shift changes everything. Fifth affirmation, your presence is your present. You've discovered that your full presence is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and others. In conversations, you listen deeply. In work, you focus completely. In moments of beauty, you're fully there to experience them. You've stopped living half present, half distracted, and started showing up wholly wherever you are. This presence creates deeper connections, better work, richer experiences. People feel seen by you because you actually see them. You catch opportunities others miss because you're paying attention. Presence is your superpower in a distracted world. Sixth affirmation, the discipline of consistency. You've embraced discipline as the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when motivation fades. You've built the muscle of showing up even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. You understand that discipline isn't restriction, it's freedom. The discipline to eat well gives you freedom from health problems. The discipline to save money gives you freedom from financial stress. The discipline to practice your craft gives you freedom to create at the highest level. Every act of discipline is an investment in future freedom. Seventh affirmation, your network amplifies your impact. You've built a network that amplifies your impact exponentially. You've surrounded yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and open doors you didn't know existed. You've learned that success isn't a solo sport, it's a team effort. And you've been intentional about cultivating relationships with people who are playing at higher levels. But you're not just taking, you're giving. You're the person others want in their network because you add value, show up consistently, and genuinely care about others' success. Your network is strong because you've invested in it authentically. Eighth affirmation, the freedom of financial intelligence. You've developed financial intelligence that creates freedom. You understand how money works, how to earn it, save it, invest it, and multiply it. You've educated yourself on wealth creation, not waiting for someone else to teach you or do it for you. You make informed decisions about your finances and you're building wealth intentionally. This financial intelligence removes stress and creates options. You're not controlled by money because you understand it. You're not afraid of it because you respect it. You're building a relationship with wealth that's healthy, empowered, and strategic. Ninth affirmation, your voice creates your reality. You've learned that the words you speak, to yourself and others, create your reality. You've become mindful of your language. You've stopped saying, "I can't," and started saying, "How can I?" You've stopped speaking lack and started speaking abundance. You've stopped limiting yourself with your words and started empowering yourself. Your self-talk has shifted from critic to coach. The stories you tell about yourself have shifted from victim to victor. And this shift in language is literally rewiring your brain and reshaping your life. Breathe into these truths. Feel them taking root. You're not just absorbing information, you're becoming transformation itself. The deeper knowing. You've gone beyond learning now. You're in the space of knowing. Not intellectual knowing, but cellular knowing. The kind that lives in your bones, that breathes with you, that moves through you as naturally as your heartbeat. This is where true transformation lives. Not in what you understand, but in what you embody. Stay with me here. These truths are integrating at the deepest levels. You're not the same person who began this journey, and with each passing moment, you're becoming more aligned, more powerful, more yourself. First affirmation, your fear is information, not instruction. You've learned that fear is information, not instruction. Fear tells you something matters. It shows you where growth lives. It points to the edges of your comfort zone, exactly where you need to go. But fear doesn't get to decide your actions. You acknowledge it, thank it for trying to protect you, and then you move forward anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear. And you've become courageous. Not reckless, but brave. You feel the fear and do it anyway, knowing that everything you want lives on the other side of the fear you're willing to face. Second affirmation, the investment in your future self. Every choice you make is an investment in your future self. The meal you choose, the conversation you have, the hour you spend, it's all depositing into or withdrawing from your future. You've become conscious of this. You ask yourself, will my future self thank me for this choice? And you act accordingly. This perspective transforms decision-making. The late-night scroll through social media? Your future self won't thank you. The difficult conversation you've been avoiding? Your future self will be grateful you had it. You're living for the person you're becoming, not just the person you are right now. Third affirmation, your energy is contagious. You've realized that your energy is contagious, it affects everyone around you. When you show up positive, grounded, and purposeful, you elevate the room. When you bring anxiety, negativity, or chaos, you lower the frequency. You've taken responsibility for the energy you bring to every interaction, every meeting, every relationship. This doesn't mean fake positivity or suppressing difficult emotions. It means being mindful of your state before you enter spaces, managing your energy intentionally, and choosing to be a source of light rather than drain. Your energy is your signature, you make it count. Fourth affirmation, the practice of deep work. You've embraced the practice of deep work, focused, uninterrupted, cognitively demanding work. In a world of constant distraction, you've created space for concentration. You protect blocks of time for your most important work. You silence notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and give your full attention to what matters most. This deep work is where your best ideas emerge, where your highest value is created, where breakthrough happens. Shallow work keeps you busy. Deep work moves you forward. And you've become a master of going deep. Fifth affirmation, your gratitude is a magnet. You've discovered that gratitude is a magnet for more blessings. When you appreciate what you have, you open yourself to receiving more. When you acknowledge the good in your life, you train your brain to see more good. Gratitude isn't just a nice practice. It's a transformative force that shifts your entire experience of life. You practice gratitude daily, not as a checkbox but as a genuine appreciation for the gifts in your life, the obvious ones and the hidden ones. And this practice has shifted your frequency from lack to abundance, from complaint to celebration. Sixth affirmation, the power of strategic quitting. You've learned that knowing when to quit is as important as knowing when to persist. Not every opportunity deserves your continued investment. Not every relationship should be maintained. Not every project needs to be completed. You've developed the wisdom to recognize when something is no longer serving you and the courage to walk away. Quitting isn't failure. Sometimes it's the smartest move you can make. It frees up energy, time, and resources for what truly matters. You don't quit easily, but you also don't persist stubbornly when the data clearly says it's time to pivot. Seventh affirmation, your self-compassion creates resilience. You've learned to treat yourself with the same compassion you'd show a good friend. When you make mistakes, you don't beat yourself up endlessly. When you fall short, you don't spiral into shame. You acknowledge the situation, extract the lesson, forgive yourself, and move forward. This self-compassion isn't weakness, it's what allows you to bounce back quickly. People who are harsh with themselves become brittle. People who practice self-compassion become resilient. You've chosen resilience. You speak to yourself kindly, give yourself grace, and allow yourself to be human while still holding yourself to high standards. Eighth affirmation, the mastery of beginnings. You've become comfortable with being a beginner. You don't need to be good at something before you start. You don't need to have it all figured out. You're willing to be awkward, to stumble, to not know, because that's where learning lives. Every expert was once a beginner who didn't quit. This comfort with being a beginner keeps you growing. It allows you to enter new fields, try new things, expand into unfamiliar territory. While others stay in their lane because they don't want to look foolish, you embrace the learning curve with humility and enthusiasm. Ninth affirmation, your vision pulls you forward. You hold a compelling vision of your future that pulls you forward effortlessly. It's not just a goal, it's a vivid, detailed, emotionally rich picture of the life you're creating. You can see it, feel it, taste it. And because it's so real to you, your daily actions naturally align with bringing it into reality. This vision isn't vague or someday. It's specific and present. You revisit it regularly, refining and reinforcing it. And this vision is your North Star. When you're unsure what to do, you ask, does this move me toward my vision? And the answer guides you. Rest in these truths. Feel their weight and their lightness. You're building a life, a self, a legacy that will ripple far beyond what you can currently imagine. The quantum shift. Something profound is happening now. You're operating at a different frequency than when you started. The accumulation of these truths, the repetition of these affirmations, the depth of this journey, it's created a quantum shift in your consciousness. You're not incrementally better. You're fundamentally different. Can you feel it? The way possibility feels more accessible? The way your dreams feel more attainable? The way your power feels more present? This isn't imagination. This is integration. This is you, fully activated, fully alive, fully aligned with your highest potential. First affirmation, your thoughts are the architects of your reality. You've understood at the deepest level that your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Not in a mystical way, but in a practical one. Your thoughts influence your emotions. Your emotions drive your actions. Your actions create your results. And your results shape your reality. You've become the conscious curator of your thoughts, choosing which ones to nurture and which ones to release. You monitor your internal dialogue like a gardener tending a garden, pulling the weeds of negativity, planting seeds of possibility, nurturing the thoughts that serve your highest vision. This mental discipline is creating a life that reflects your most empowered thinking. Second affirmation, the power of micro-commitments. You've learned that transformation happens through micro-commitments kept daily. Not grand gestures or massive overhauls, but tiny promises to yourself honored consistently. 5 minutes of meditation. 10 pages read. 1 healthy meal. 1 important conversation. These micro-commitments compound into macro-transformations. You don't rely on motivation or perfect conditions. You've made keeping small promises to yourself non-negotiable. And through this practice, you've built unshakable self-trust. You know that when you say you'll do something, you do it. This reliability with yourself is the foundation of everything else. Third affirmation, your vulnerability is your strength. You've discovered that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's your greatest strength. When you share your struggles, you create connection. When you admit uncertainty, you invite collaboration. When you show your humanity, you give others permission to show theirs. The armor you thought protected you was actually isolating you. You've learned to lead with vulnerability, sharing your journey authentically, admitting mistakes openly, asking for help when needed. And paradoxically, this vulnerability has made you stronger, more respected, more trusted. People don't follow perfection. They follow authenticity. Fourth affirmation, the discipline of single-tasking. You've embraced single-tasking in a multitasking world. You do one thing at a time, fully. When you're writing, you write. When you're listening, you listen. When you're eating, you eat. This focused attention creates higher quality work, deeper relationships, and richer experiences than scattered attention ever could. Multitasking is a myth that creates mediocrity. Single-tasking is a practice that creates excellence. You've chosen excellence. You've trained yourself to resist the pull of distraction and give your full presence to whatever you're doing in this moment. Fifth affirmation, your past does not define your future. You've released the belief that your past defines your future. Yes, your past has shaped you, taught you, prepared you. But it doesn't determine where you're going. You're not limited by where you came from, what you've been through, or who you've been. Every moment is an opportunity to reinvent, to choose differently, to become more. You honor your past without being imprisoned by it. You learn from it without being defined by it. You carry forward the lessons and leave behind the limitations. Your future is being created right now by the choices you're making, the beliefs you're holding, the actions you're taking. Sixth affirmation, the investment in your mind. You've made your mind your most valuable asset and you invest in it accordingly. You read books that expand your thinking. You listen to podcasts that challenge your perspective. You engage in conversations that stimulate your growth. You expose yourself to ideas, philosophies, and wisdom that upgrade your mental operating system. Your mind is either growing or stagnating. There's no neutral. And you've chosen growth. You've become a lifelong learner, hungry for knowledge, curious about everything, committed to continuous intellectual and emotional expansion. Seventh affirmation, your boundaries communicate your worth. You've learned that your boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier relationships. When you clearly communicate what you will and won't accept, you teach people how to treat you. When you honor your own limits, you show others they can honor theirs too. Boundaries don't push people away. They create the space for authentic connection. You no longer feel guilty for having boundaries. You don't apologize for protecting your peace. You understand that people who respect you will respect your boundaries, and people who don't respect your boundaries don't respect you. This clarity has transformed every relationship in your life. 8th affirmation: the practice of extreme ownership. You practice extreme ownership over your emotions, your reactions, your life. No one makes you feel anything. You choose your response to every situation. No one controls your happiness. You create it internally. No one determines your success. You do, through your choices and actions. This level of ownership is both challenging and liberating. When you stop giving your power away through blame, excuses, or victimhood, you reclaim it entirely. You become the sovereign of your experience. And from that place of ownership, anything becomes possible because you're no longer waiting for external circumstances to change. You're changing yourself. 9th affirmation: your legacy lives in your daily actions. You understand that legacy isn't built in grand moments. It's built in daily actions. How you treat the server at lunch. How you show up to a meeting no one important is attending. How you respond when no one is watching. These moments of integrity, kindness, and excellence. This is where your legacy is actually being written. You've stopped waiting for big opportunities to prove yourself. The infinite unfolding. You're in the flow now. That effortless state where truth lands without resistance, where growth happens without force, where transformation feels natural rather than strained. This is what happens when you stop fighting who you're becoming and start allowing it. When you stop resisting your greatness and start embracing it. The journey continues to unfold, layer by layer, revelation by revelation. And with each truth that lands, you're not just learning, you're remembering. Remembering the power that's always been yours. Remembering the wisdom that lives within you. Remembering that you are, and have always been, enough. 1st affirmation: your adaptability is your survival skill. You've developed adaptability as your greatest survival skill in an ever-changing world. Markets shift, technologies evolve, circumstances change, and you flow with it all. You don't resist change, you dance with it. You don't fear disruption, you see opportunity in it. You've learned that rigidity breaks but flexibility bends and survives. This adaptability doesn't mean you have no core. It means your core is so strong that you can afford to be flexible around it. Your values remain constant while your strategies evolve. Your vision stays clear while your tactics adjust. You're like water, soft enough to flow around obstacles, powerful enough to carve canyons. 2nd affirmation: the power of your no. You've learned that your no is as powerful as your yes, perhaps more so. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to what does. Every time you decline an opportunity that's not aligned, you're creating space for one that is. Your no protects your yes. Your no honors your priorities. Your no is an act of self-respect. You've stopped feeling guilty about disappointing people with your no. You've stopped over-explaining or justifying. No is a complete sentence when you need it to be. And this power to decline gracefully has transformed your life, giving you back your time, your energy, and your focus. 3rd affirmation: your presence in relationships creates depth. You've learned that the quality of your relationships is determined by the quality of your presence. When you're with someone, you're truly with them, not scrolling, not distracted, not half listening while planning your response. You give the gift of your full attention, and in return, you experience deeper connection than surface-level interaction ever provided. This presence makes you magnetic. People feel valued by you because you actually value them enough to be fully there. Your relationships have deepened because you've stopped trying to be everywhere and started being fully where you are. Fourth affirmation, the wisdom of strategic patience. You've developed strategic patience, the ability to wait for the right moment while taking consistent action. You don't confuse patience with passivity. You're preparing, learning, building, positioning yourself, all while waiting for the perfect timing. You understand that premature action can be as costly as delayed action. This patience comes from trust. Trust in timing. Trust in process. Trust in yourself. You're not in a rush because you're not worried about missing out. You know that what's meant for you will arrive exactly when you're ready to receive it. And you're using the waiting time to become even more ready. Fifth affirmation, your body tells the truth. You've learned to listen to your body as a truth teller. That tension in your shoulders when someone crosses a boundary. That lightness in your chest when something aligns. That knot in your stomach when something feels off. Your body knows before your mind catches up, and you've learned to trust its signals. You've stopped overriding your body's wisdom with logic that doesn't serve you. When your body says rest, you rest. When it says move, you move. When it says no, you honor that no. This somatic intelligence has kept you safe, healthy, and aligned in ways that mental analysis alone never could. Sixth affirmation, the practice of intentional solitude. You've embraced intentional solitude as a practice, not a punishment. Time alone isn't loneliness. It's where you reconnect with yourself, process your experiences, and hear your own thoughts. You've created regular space for solitude, understanding that you can't hear your inner wisdom over the constant noise of the external world. In solitude, you recalibrate. You reflect. You dream. You plan. You restore. This time alone isn't about escaping people, it's about encountering yourself. And these encounters have deepened your self-awareness and strengthened your sense of self in profound ways. Seventh affirmation, your generosity creates abundance. You've discovered that generosity creates abundance, not scarcity. When you give freely, your time, your knowledge, your resources, your encouragement, you tap into an unlimited flow. The more you give, the more you receive. Not because of some cosmic transaction, but because generosity shifts your frequency from lack to abundance. You give without keeping score. You share without expecting return. You support others' success as enthusiastically as your own. And this generosity has created a life rich in relationships, opportunities, and unexpected blessings that hoarding never could have produced. Eighth affirmation, the mastery of your attention. You've mastered your attention in an attention economy designed to steal it. You decide what gets your focus, not algorithms or notifications. You choose what you consume, not what's pushed to you. You've reclaimed your attention as your most precious resource, and you allocate it intentionally to what matters most. This mastery of attention has given you back your life. You're not lost in endless scrolls or pulled in 1,000 directions. You're focused, present, intentional. And this focused attention has multiplied your productivity, deepened your relationships, and enhanced your quality of life exponentially. Ninth affirmation, your commitment to truth. You've committed to truth, speaking it, living it, seeking it. Not your truth or their truth, but the truth. You're willing to be wrong. You're open to changing your mind when presented with better information. You value accuracy over being right. You choose honesty over comfort, even when it's difficult. This commitment to truth builds trust in your relationships and within yourself. The resonance. There's a resonance happening now, a harmonic frequency between who you've been and who you're becoming. These aren't just words passing through your awareness. They're tuning forks, striking chords deep within your soul, awakening parts of you that have been dormant, calling forth aspects of yourself that have been waiting for this exact moment. You're vibrating at a different frequency now. Higher, clearer, more aligned. And from this frequency, you're attracting different opportunities, different relationships, different possibilities. Everything is shifting because you are shifting. And this shift is irreversible. You can't unknow what you now know. You can't unbecome who you're becoming. First affirmation, your authenticity attracts your tribe. You've learned that when you're authentically yourself, you naturally attract your tribe. You don't need to pretend, perform, or contort yourself to fit in. The right people, your people, will resonate with the real you. And the people who don't? They were never meant to be in your inner circle, and that's okay. This authenticity acts as a filter. It repels those who aren't aligned and magnetizes those who are. You've stopped trying to be everything to everyone and started being fully yourself for the right ones. And your life has become richer, more connected, more genuine as a result. Second affirmation, the power of completion. You've embraced the power of completion, finishing what you start. Unfinished projects drain energy. Incomplete commitments create mental clutter. You've learned to either complete things or consciously release them. No more half-done projects haunting you, no more should-finish tasks weighing you down. When you complete something, you create completion energy, a sense of accomplishment that fuels momentum for the next thing. You've become someone who finishes. And this reputation, with yourself and others, has transformed your effectiveness and your confidence. Third affirmation, your emotional mastery creates freedom. You've developed emotional mastery that creates profound freedom. You feel your emotions fully without being controlled by them. You can be angry without acting from anger. You can be sad without drowning in sadness. You can be excited without being reckless. Your emotions inform you, but they don't dictate to you. This mastery comes from practice. Years of learning to observe your emotions, understand their messages, and choose your responses consciously. You've learned that between stimulus and response is a space, and in that space is your power. You live in that space now. Fourth affirmation, the investment in experiences over things. You've shifted from collecting things to collecting experiences. You invest in travel, learning, relationships, adventures, moments that enrich your life rather than clutter it. You understand that memories appreciate while possessions depreciate. That experiences shape who you become while things just take up space. This shift has lightened your life in every way. Less stuff, more stories. Less maintenance, more meaning. Less clutter, more clarity. You've discovered that the best things in life truly aren't things. They're moments, connections, experiences that expand your soul. Fifth affirmation, your courage compounds. You've discovered that courage compounds. Each brave act makes the next one easier. The first time you speak up is terrifying. The 10th time is uncomfortable. The 100th time is natural. You've been building your courage muscle consistently, and it's gotten stronger with every rep. You're no longer waiting to feel brave before acting brave. You act brave first, and the feeling follows. You've learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that something else matters more than fear. And you've been making that decision again and again until courage became your default. Sixth affirmation, the practice of conscious creation. You've become a conscious creator of your life rather than a passive observer. You don't just let life happen to you, you make intentional choices about how you spend your time, who you spend it with, what you create, how you contribute. You're the author of your story, the director of your life, the architect of your destiny. This consciousness means nothing is on autopilot. You're awake, aware, intentional. Every day is an opportunity to create something meaningful, to move toward your vision, to become more of who you're meant to be. You're not sleepwalking through life, you're fully awake and actively creating. 7th affirmation, your resilience is reinforced by adversity. You've learned that resilience isn't just bouncing back, it's bouncing forward. Every challenge doesn't just return you to where you were, it propels you further than you were before. You don't just survive difficulties, you're transformed by them. Adversity doesn't break you, it forges you into something stronger. You've reframed every obstacle as an opportunity for growth. Every setback as a setup for a greater comeback. Every challenge as a chance to prove to yourself what you're made of. And with each one you overcome, your confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes grows exponentially. 8th affirmation, the wisdom of saying not yet. You've learned the power of not yet instead of no. When opportunities arise that aren't right for now, you don't burn bridges, you say not yet. When goals feel impossible, you don't abandon them, you say not yet. This simple shift from no to not yet keeps possibility alive while honoring your current reality. Not yet acknowledges that timing matters, that you're still growing into certain opportunities, that some goals require more preparation. It's a phrase that honors both your current limitations and your future potential. It keeps doors open while you continue becoming ready to walk through them. 9th affirmation, your purpose evolves with you. You've released the pressure of finding one singular life purpose and embraced that your purpose evolves as you do. What called to you at 20 may not resonate at 40. What mattered in one season may transform in the next. Your purpose isn't static, it's dynamic, growing, evolving with you. This understanding removes the paralysis of finding the one thing. Instead, you follow what lights you up now, trust that it's preparing you for what comes next, and remain open to how your purpose unfolds and reveals itself over time. The crystallization of power. You've reached a place of crystallized power. Not power over others, but power within yourself. The kind of power that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. The kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself because it simply is. The kind of power that transforms everything it touches. This power has been building throughout this entire journey. With each affirmation, each truth, each moment of recognition, you've been gathering your power back from all the places you left it. From past regrets. From future anxieties. From other people's opinions. You're whole now. You're integrated. You're powerful. First affirmation, your peace is your priority. You've made peace your highest priority, and you protect it fiercely. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of internal calm regardless of external circumstances. You've learned that nothing, no achievement, no relationship, no amount of money, is worth sacrificing your peace for. When something disturbs your peace, you address it swiftly. This prioritization of peace has transformed your decision-making. You ask, will this bring me peace or disrupt it? And you choose accordingly. You've created boundaries around your peace, removed people and situations that threaten it, and cultivated practices that maintain it. Your peace is non-negotiable. Second affirmation, the mastery of pivoting. You've mastered the art of the pivot, changing direction without losing momentum. When one approach isn't working, you don't stubbornly persist or collapse in defeat. You pivot. You adjust. You find another way. You've learned that flexibility isn't weakness, it's intelligence. The ability to change course quickly is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. You pivot with grace, without drama, without making yourself wrong for the original direction. You simply gather the learnings, adjust the strategy, and move forward. This agility has accelerated your growth exponentially because you don't waste time on what isn't working. Third affirmation, your uniqueness is your competitive advantage. You've embraced that your uniqueness, the very things that make you different, is your competitive advantage. You've stopped trying to fit the mold and started breaking it. Your unusual combination of skills, experiences, perspectives, that's what sets you apart. That's what makes you irreplaceable. In a world of copycats and conformists, your originality is refreshing. Your authentic voice cuts through the noise. Your unique approach solves problems in ways others can't. You've stopped seeing your differences as disadvantages and started leveraging them as your greatest assets. Fourth affirmation, the power of your environment design. You've become intentional about designing every aspect of your environment. Your physical space reflects and reinforces your goals. Your digital environment supports rather than sabotages you. The people in your life elevate rather than drain you. You've engineered your surroundings to make success inevitable and failure difficult. You understand that willpower is finite but environment is constant. So you've stacked your environment in your favor. Healthy food visible and accessible. Distractions removed or minimized. Inspiration everywhere you look. You've made your environment work for you instead of against you. Fifth affirmation, your relationship with time has transformed. You've completely transformed your relationship with time. You no longer feel like time's victim, constantly running out or running behind. You've become time's master, using it intentionally, protecting it fiercely, investing it wisely. You understand that how you spend your hours is how you spend your life. You've stopped saying, "I don't have time," and started saying, "That's not a priority." This shift in language reflects a shift in ownership. You have time for what matters to you. You make time for what you value. And you've become ruthless about eliminating time wasters that don't serve your highest vision. Sixth affirmation, the practice of pre-commitment. You've learned the power of pre-commitment, deciding in advance how you'll respond to situations. Before temptation strikes, you've decided what you'll do. Before conflict arises, you've determined how you'll react. Before opportunities appear, you've clarified which ones you'll pursue. This advanced decision-making eliminates in-the-moment weakness. Pre-commitment removes the mental burden of constant decision-making. You've already decided you'll exercise every morning. You've already decided you won't engage in gossip. You've already decided what your boundaries are. So when the moment comes, you don't debate, you simply execute your pre-commitment. Seventh affirmation, your capacity for joy has expanded. You've expanded your capacity for joy, allowing yourself to fully experience happiness without waiting for the other shoe to drop. You've released the belief that joy must be earned or that happiness is dangerous. You've learned to receive good things without guilt, to celebrate wins without minimizing them, to feel pleasure without bracing for pain. This expanded capacity for joy has changed the quality of your life. You're not just working toward happiness someday, you're experiencing it now. You're not just tolerating life until it gets better, you're savoring it as it is. Joy isn't a destination you're traveling toward, it's a frequency you're tuning into daily. 8th affirmation, the wisdom of walking away. You've developed the wisdom to know when to walk away. From arguments, from relationships, from opportunities, from identities that no longer fit. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every relationship deserves your continuation. Not every opportunity deserves your yes. You've learned that sometimes the most powerful move is to simply walk away. Walking away isn't quitting, it's choosing yourself. It's recognizing when something has run its course. It's having the courage to close chapters that need closing. You walk away with grace, with gratitude for what was, and with excitement for what's next. 9th affirmation, your vision board lives in your actions. You've moved beyond vision boards on walls to vision boards in your daily actions. Every choice you make either moves you toward your vision or away from it.